Okay, so the circular flow diagram is a good way to show how money flows through the economy, through businesses, to the factor market, to households, to the product market, back to businesses, and vice versa. So first, starting out with the households, they earn their money from the business through labor, land, capital, and entrepreneurial ability. This means that the households give the business their labor, land, capital, and entrepreneurial ability, their factors of production, in return for the business paying them a wage or an income. So they get income from providing their resources to the business. And income comes in the form of wages, rents, interest, and profits. So the households gain this, and when they gain it, they go back to the businesses and buy their goods and services in the product market. So the businesses, through the factors of production that the employees provide, or that the households provide, they're able to produce goods and services and sell them back to the households for a profit. And this is the revenue that they gain from the consumers. So looking at the product and factor markets, you can better tell where the money goes and how it's spent. So product markets are where the consumers go to buy goods from businesses. So for example, if you go to the grocery store and get fruits and vegetables, you're buying goods from the business that is the grocery store. So households would be spending their income on the goods and services that the business provides for them. So in this case, money goes back to the hands of the businesses, and households gain the resources that they need in the form of consumer goods. Factor markets are where the businesses go to gain what they need in order to operate from households. So they need labor, land, capital, and entrepreneurship. And it's different from a good or service because they're not the households aren't producing a good, they're using their service to produce a good, or they're using their efforts to produce a good or service for the business that they would buy back. So in the factor market, the businesses pay for the resources, like labor as an example, that households would provide. And then money returns to the households through their income, which is things like wages, and then businesses gain the resources that they need to operate in order to produce the goods and services that the consumers would buy. Government in the circular flow diagram, it can limit the flow of goods to the product market, but this is often, even if it sounds like a bad thing, it's often a good thing because it protects the consumer and sometimes the business. So an example of this would be like food safety regulations. So if we didn't have those, our food might be unsafe to eat, might make us sick, and that would be bad. But it limits how the business produces their food. They have to keep everything clean. They can't just do whatever all the time, even if that would mean they turn a larger profit, then the product wouldn't be as safe. And then regulations to employee health and safety, you can see how it kind of dictates how a business can profit, because if you can only retain 3 workers who can work a 40-hour week, so you only have the money to pay 3 workers an income, but they're only allowed to work 40-hour weeks, they'll profit less than if they could pay the same 3 workers or even more workers who could work unlimited hours. And this also goes along with regulations to the minimum wage and how that affects both the income to the households and the businesses through their expenditures and their profit.